I'm Dan Sperry, the Anti-Conjuror, and I do magic.
What do you get when you put Houdini, Marilyn, Manson, and Edward Scissorhands into a blender? You get the Master of Magical Macabre, Dan Sperry, who is the new face of magic. Known for blending magic with his bizarre humour, Sperry shot to fame on America's Got Talent in 2010. Since then, he's been travelling the world, captivating audiences with his brand of illusions. Sperry will be in Singapore this February, joining forces with 6 other magicians for a show called The Illusionists at the Marina Bay Sands. inSing.com caught up with a man who calls himself the Anti-Conjuror for a quick chat.
A place called Minnesota. It's a really cold state there, and not a lot of magic. I think the closest magic shop was like 2 hours away. This is before the internet, so I couldn't just go on the computer and try and learn stuff and buy stuff. I was learning stuff out of books, buying through a catalog, and pretty much having to teach myself, which is kind of how I got started when I was young. Was basically having to learn to make my own little things, and just trial and error was a lot of it. I've always kind of gravitated towards more, maybe unconventional sort of lifestyles in that sense. When I was younger, I wanted to grow up and be a pirate. I wanted to be Captain Hook. Nobody told me that that was not possible. So, but I didn't end up being a pirate or Captain Hook. But I still, that was kind of, one of the things I just kind of was always drawn towards. Was maybe villains in movies and that sort of thing, and I don't really know why even. Just one of those people that always rooted for the bad guy. When I was younger, when I was growing up, my mom lived in a house that we would hear noises and people moving around in the house, and nobody was there. There wasn't anybody. I remember a couple times when I was younger being like home alone with just like my mom sitting there, and we'd hear the front door open and close, and one night I heard somebody run up the staircase, and we thought it was my brother and my sister coming home, and we called out their name. They weren't there. We went upstairs, looked around, nobody was there. It was really, really eerie, and I remember hearing like knocking like on the wall in my bedroom one time, and the other side of the wall was outside. It wasn't, the wall didn't go to another room, and so it wasn't like somebody was outside. I don't know what was happening, but I could hear like somebody was knocking in the wall. It was really creepy. I get a lot of inspiration from different places. I don't really have one specific person that's an idol per se, but I really like Quentin Tarantino and his movies, and kind of his the way he applies all sorts of different images and situations and scenes and themes that usually most people would think would conflict, but he finds a way to make them all work in like harmony together, and it's something that I really really admire. No, not really. This is pretty much all I do. Never really wanted to. Since I was young, yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I always wanted to do different things. I didn't want to grow up and be a fireman. Like I wanted to be a pirate, and I had other thoughts on things. I thought I wanted to be an animator at one point and make animated movies like for Disney, but I didn't. I just do magic now. No, nobody tried to learn my magic growing up. Friends, I really didn't show a lot of friends magic when I was younger, so they didn't really know exactly what I did. And as far as family, no, most people didn't. They just kind of sat back and let me do my thing. It was just another show. When I did that show, it was at a private club, and it was me and another guy. He was like a comedian, and it was just, we were supposed to go out and do the show. We weren't allowed to talk to anybody or approach anybody. It was just you go out and you do the show, and that was it. And then you leave. They just wanted to be respectful of the family and everything. So I didn't see him. I didn't talk to him. Nothing like that. Coming to Singapore and being at the Marina Bay Sands. A month ago, being at the Sydney Opera House with this show, the Illusionist show. We were there. It was sold out. There were like 3,000 people out there every night. That was really fun. Just a deck of cards. Very simple, very typical, nothing fancy. You have to take one out. But you can see they're different. That's important. Different. See? Different. Different. Take one, whatever one you want. I'm not fancy, so it's a big pile, big mess. Okay, now what else we're gonna do is have you take a marker and, yeah, exactly, you know what to do, perfect. Take a marker and sign your name on it, so we know that's yours as well. And we just show the camera, I'm gonna turn away, show the camera.
to make sure everybody at home or business folks goes on a website. Everybody logged in. Memorize the card. Don't say it out loud though. Especially those of you at home, don't say it out loud. If you say it out loud, that makes sense. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. We have the marker. Here's the marker. You hold the card. Like I said, don't let me see it. We'll give the ink a second to dry. We're going to find, that's about halfway. About halfway. Take your card, put it face down right there with all the others. Good. Don't go. Now it goes in the middle. We're going to, actually, you might want to get back. I'm going to come down to the ground. Yes, see? Card's right there. Right? You signed a card that went in the middle of the deck. Watch. Concentrate on your card. Think of it in your mind, the card that you signed, so you know that one's yours. Watch. Keep thinking of it. Now watch. One shoots out of the deck right about there, a little bit, a little jerk, and then you see that one. It's right there with your signature on it. Right there. That's it. Obviously, that's for you.
I get my ideas usually from movies. I'll see a movie and not so much something done in a movie, but maybe a feeling or an emotion or some invoking some sort of reaction that comes from a scene or a situation in a movie, and I'll maybe want to try and recreate that feeling, but using magic. And that could be, maybe it's a card trick, maybe it's something that's simple and, you know, typical, or maybe it's something else going, and I don't know what that would be. Maybe I just know I want to create that feeling, and trying to find the right illusion or whatever to create that outcome. That's what takes a while. You know, I might come with first wanting that to create that emotion or create that reaction, and then it's now finding a song to go with it, and then from the song find the next step being what illusion would it be, or, you know, what would I want the audience to see. Oh yeah, stuff goes wrong all the time. It's just, you got to try and be able to cover it so the audience doesn't realize that something went wrong. You know, that's kind of just as important in performance, just because there's so many, in a lot of things, especially a lot of stuff I do, there's so many elements that could go wrong and usually do. You just got to find a way to have a backup plan or a plan B to sort of create the same end result, so that hopefully the audience doesn't notice. I don't think I'll be teaching anybody anything, because I'm still learning. I'd rather still be learning, because there's never an end to that. So aside from being 10 years older, I don't know where else I'll be in 10 years. Any message? Just to go buy a t-shirt off my website and join the cause, and we'll eventually rule the world someday. And they'll be safe.
I'm Dan Sperry. You're watching inSing. Come see me in the Illusionists here at the Marina Bay Sands Theater starting February 17th.